Hello viewers, welcome back on the second part of the investigation of the PSU from the VEX 4300. In the last episode I've tried a spare PSU, but the spare PSU seems to be more broken than the original one. So now I try to repair the original PSU from the VEX. Last time we talked about this board and I found two broken capacitors, this one and this one, and there's also a third one of this type on the board, this one, so I want to replace all three of these. This is a bit complicated because underneath are the MOSFETs, and I was able to remove this cooling part, but I cannot remove this one because there are no holes for the screws. And to remove this piece of metal here, I have to desolder the MOSFETs, and I do not have the equipment for that. I only got quite a big desoldering pump, and I know if I would try it with this thing, I would destroy the board. So I don't try it at the moment. I need other kind of desoldering equipment for that. But I think I can reach the capacitors from below without removing the metal plate. But there is another board in the PSU. This one is the board for the 5 volt and 3.3 voltage rail, and there are some capacitors as well from the same type, these two, and they are also there's also a metal plate below, and there's the same issue with the like on the other board. I cannot remove this metal plate without desoldering the MOSFETs. So at the moment I can only change the capacitors on the 12 volt board and not on the 5 volt and 3.3 volt board. Therefore I will replace them on the 12 volt board and try if the machine will start after the replacement. In the future I will change all of these brown capacitors. There are some more in the machine with different capacity, but at the moment I think all other brown capacitors are working, or I hope that they are working. Therefore I have some new capacitors here, and now I will desolder these three and solder some new ones in. Okay, now I have changed the capacitors, these three. I hope it will work. I've did some measurings and it seems to be okay. And I've put both boards back into the PSU, and now I will put the rest of it in the PSU, and when I did it, we'll go over to the VEX and put the PSU into the VEX. Okay, it's working. I couldn't believe it, but the machine powers up, the DC OK indicator is on. I was afraid to burn the whole machine or the whole storeroom down, but it starts. Unbelievable. So I did some tests and the machine starts. You can see here I'm in VMS at the moment, so it's boots. And I've also tried the DSSI connection between the two VEXes. I have here this is external DSSI cable. It goes to the other VEX over here, and I want to see if the VEX 4300 can see the device in the VEX 4200 or can see the controller, but I'm not able to see the controller, I'm not able to see the device, and also the VEX 4200 didn't see the controller of the VEX 4300, so there is still a problem with DSSI, but I don't know really what it is, because if the controller is broken in the VEX 4200, we should see the device in that machine, but I can't see it. So maybe the cable is broken. I have a bit, 3 more of them, so I'll try another cable. But the DSSI issue is a thing to investigate in the future. Also, I will cover the boot up procedure and the VMS installation on the VEX 4300 in a future video, but for the moment I'm glad that the VEX 4300 is working again. Here, it's a few hours later. I wanted to make some changes on the network configuration on the VEX 4300, and when I want to start it, there were the same issue like before the replacement of the capacitors. So I think the capacitor replacement didn't solve the issue, and the machine isn't working at the moment. I don't know what the next steps will be. I need some other desoldering equipment, and then I will try to replace all the capacitors on the 2 voltage boards, and then maybe I can see if that solves the problem. If that doesn't solve the problem as well, I didn't have any idea how to solve the problem with the PSU on this machine.